It's hard to believe that our For Goodness Sake stories have been part of the Fox 29 lineup for multiple years now. I'm Bill Anderson, and although I'm involved in telling many of the stories, For Goodness Sake is an entire station initiative, our Fox 29 family, celebrating people and organizations that are dedicated to making things better, overcoming obstacles, and changing communities. For the next 30 minutes, we'll share those stories with you, starting with a local bus driver who decided he could make a difference in the lives of the children he drives around every day, and he did it for goodness sake.
Here we go. I'm not doing anything special as far as I'm concerned. Hey, you. Oh, you gotta stop. I'm just coming and helping the kids, being a light and inspiration to them.
What he does may not be anything special to Middle Township, New Jersey bus driver Herman Cruz.
What do you want to do first?
But teachers and students,
You want to do this one first?
they'd likely beg to differ.
Good job.
These kids know him now. They love him.
Go.
They get excited when they see him in the hallways. They, Mr. Herman, Mr. Herman, Mr. Herman.
Sandwiches. What's your favorite sandwich?
Peanut and jelly.
Mine too.
And he's really just changed so many of these kids' lives.
I like cookies.
We got the call to come out and meet the man affectionately referred to as Mr. Herman
Brown bear, brown bear.
because people in his district didn't want his dedication to students to go overlooked.
Looking at me.
It all started in a pretty simple way,
And their tears dripped into the soup.
with a kindergarten student learning to read.
Some pumpkin soup.
So it all began last year. I had a student who we were really, really working hard on him getting there, getting that confidence to start reading.
This one?
Yep, he didn't do it.
Go ahead.
He just needed to get over that hump. And when he did, I told his preschool teacher, I told our principal, I told anyone and everyone in the hallway.
Sprout.
Sprout.
Eventually, they got to the bus driver, who, because of his long commute, often spent time sleeping in his car or running errands between morning and afternoon shifts.
I'm like, this is a nice way to, kill time. So I'm like, I told Alex, his teacher, I was like, I'll come into the school and I'll read with him.
The troll.
Just like that, Mr. Herman
River. Yep.
started reading to that one student.
That is the green grass.
But one quickly grew into others.
What's that say again?
Party food.
And it just spread from one student to two.
4
That's where we are, right? 2 students to 4.
and 2.
And 2, 3 different classrooms.
As he was.
Ugly. When the word got back to the guidance counselor, she hopped on board. Hey, I have a few students.
Fat.
Yes.
Now Mr. Herman spends multiple days and hours with students from all over the school. We spent the day with them and saw him making a difference.
Good job.
So he kind of became like a celebrity at first. Like a lot of these kids were like, I know him, that's my bus driver, I know him. So I think it was just nice because it was someone different. It was just a different person to have in the school
To make
that these kids could look up to and see as he's here for me.
my man.
Now Mr. Herman gets no compensation for the hours he puts in with the kids, but that's fine with him because he stumbled into something that he loves and people who love him for it.
Into what?
The wizard.
I'm not as credentialed. I don't have many degrees to qualify as an educator or teacher. And like I said, my classroom is these 4 wheels. And if the bare minimum of all these kids, and the one thing that they have in common is that they need love, they need support, and they need inspiration.
It's right there.
So why tell this story? Because we often hear the question, what can I do to make a difference? And people like Mr. Herman offer answers.
Youngest
Just do something.
river. If you have love in your heart, share it with someone who needs it. That's the one thing sorely lacking in this world today, and that's love. And we all know the kids need it. Good job. Yes. Awesome job. See you, Dave.
And do it for goodness sake. Welcome back to Fox 29's For Goodness Sake special. Now, a local man had a terrifying accident while working that left most believing he would never walk again. But even though the accident broke multiple bones, our photojournalists Bill Rohr and Shane McEachern explained to us that it couldn't break the man's spirit.
Even when summer has faded, Ocean City, New Jersey still gives people the chance to escape. At the local gym on 9th and Asbury Avenue,
here we go.
58-year-old Frank McLaughlin
Rack. Outstanding.
tries to escape from pain.
They tell me that every muscle's connected. I don't really understand that process, so they tell me when I do the upper body, it also helps my bottom.
Day after long day, weight after more weight, Frank will not stop.
Other than closing the gym and locking in the doors, we just try to tell them Sunday's God's active rest day, Frank.
I would say I actually know their schedule better than they do sometimes, so I sneak in.
He is a bit of a workaholic, and for him, it's a full-time job.
I've dedicated 749 days in a row to this.
All made a little easier in his favorite pair of work boots.
The reason I do it in the boots is I'm a construction worker. That's what I did. So I've had boots for 40 years.
But to walk in Frank's boots, you have to know his story. 2 years ago, Frank was working on the outside of a house and fell.
Went blank. I know it was November 5th, and it was my mom's birthday. So, I'm not quite sure if I was rushing.
Frank woke up in the hospital several days later. Friends told him some of the details from the accident.
I was told I fell 35 feet.
On the way down, Frank says he came in contact with 10,000 volts of electricity.
We're not sure if there was a voltage jump. Can't say for sure, because I was near a transmission line. That's all I know.
Doctors worked around the clock to fix Frank's broken body.
8 back fusions, torn rotator, 2, I believe, collapsed lungs, fractured pelvis. Electricity came out the bottom of my heel, and they had to do surgery on that. And I was defibrillated 3 times.
Doctors gave Frank a 10% chance of walking again. An uphill battle.
20 weeks after his injury, climbing his ladder.
But Frank was up for the challenge.
I was scared, but I wasn't. I heard this story before.
Minute and a half.
You know, you're looking at a minimum of 18 months for almost everything to be back 100%. And, 2 and 3 years to recover from nerve damage. Sometimes you never recover from nerve damage.
Frank's drive has brought him to work out with trainers Fritz Hastings.
He just never stops. He's amazing.
And Mark Implasio.
I didn't know Frank. I didn't know what to expect. So his work ethic is unmeasurable.
I'm gonna do it until I get 100%.
Frank moving towards a goal that's not out of reach.
He asks me every day, how am I doing? How am I doing? I say, Frank, you're doing great.
I almost feel cocky confident right now that I'm getting it. I'm getting it all. I'm going to change the odds.
Countdown 1 minute.
Some say it's a miracle.
The Miracle Man? Yeah, you could call him the Miracle Man. But we like to call him Frank.
He was literally dead 3 times. And when you that's a 35-foot fall and electrocuted, and the electric went out his foot. Seriously? If you live from that, you should celebrate.
Well, Frank, let's do 5 each leg. 5 each leg.
Since coming here in September,
Step. Good.
Frank has leaped over many obstacles.
All right.
He spends more than 2 hours a day at the gym before his daily massage
There you go.
to keep his muscles loose.
The recovery time is just as important as the training.
His routine ends with acupuncture
Needles everywhere.
to stimulate the body's natural healing abilities.
For Frank, I think really that's the combo that's helpful.
A full day's work with an army of people by his side.
I don't charge him for my service. I believe the entire time that I've done this that I'm more effective when I'm doing it because I love you and I'm going to make you better. And if you get better, I really feel good. So I'm selfish.
Back home for a short rest, then at it tomorrow. A splash of normalcy.
Can you believe I made it?
Before old photos remind Frank how far he's come.
What do you think when you see yourself there?
Can't believe I did it. People didn't think I could do it. But I did it.
With one thing left to finish.
You told me your goal was to finish what you started at that house.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going back on that roof.
Expect nothing less from a man that never quits. In Cape May County, Bill Rohr, Fox 29 News.
The war in the Ukraine has been a major part of the recent news cycle. But what's often missed is the real-world sacrifices and harm that this and really all wars cause. Jenny Joyce introduces us to a man who nearly gave his life fighting for his country, but is now on the road to recovery thanks to the hard work and support of strangers who just cared.
Get a little closer to the bar.
Життя своє, життя майбутніх поколінь. He would like to fight for his life, for life of next generation.
All right, he's good.
Determined is an understatement when describing 23-year-old Ukrainian soldier and now double amputee Roman Stashkiv.
Just a couple days he's been here in the hospital. He's walking with a walker now, but his gait almost looks natural.
Roman lost both of his legs in April while fighting to protect the Luhansk region in eastern Ukraine during the Russian invasion. And now, 7 months later, he's in Delaware County at Crozier Health's Taylor Hospital receiving rehabilitative care.
I got you, it's hard.
And Roman, being a young man with his whole life ahead of him, I knew that there's something we had to do to help.
Sean Bonner of Haverford and founder and CEO of the Guild Foundation, an organization that increases financial literacy among servicemen and women and supports military organizations around the world, learned of Roman's injuries while he was in Ukraine on a humanitarian mission. Ironically, Sean's family works in rehabilitative medicine.
Fate sort of chose us for this, chose me for this.
Quickly, Sean made some calls, and people, companies, donors in the Philadelphia region stepped up.
It's our pleasure. So if I make an adjustment to the foot, it's going to give him better balance.
Jack Lawal of Lawal Prosthetics and Orthotics.
So he's a mechanical knee.
Donated the $30,000 prosthesis to Roman.
We had to get the most durable equipment because when he goes back to Ukraine, they don't have a prosthetist like us there that can fix these things. And this equipment should last him at least 5 to 7 years.
So it's just working on his balance and his core strength, increased weight shifting on his legs.
And Crozier Health covering the cost of Roman's care.
So he gets 3 hours of therapy a day. He gets 2 hours of PT and 1 hour of OT. We were the first ones to help get him up and moving and grooving and taking some, steps on stairs and things like that.
The treatment and care that our U.S. vets get here is the best in the world. And if we have the opportunity to help another young man from a foreign country who's fighting for his own people and his own way of life and fighting to be free, that we at least had to try.
In his first few days at Taylor, Roman is making great strides towards regaining his independence.
He's a fighter. He wants to get he wants to get back there and be in the best shape that he possibly could be. He's getting more confident every day, confident, like more and more and more. He's really thankful to all the people who helped. You see things on the news about what's going on in Ukraine, but to actually be boots on the ground and get to deal with this stuff really hits home. is very meaningful. Nurses, rehab, everyone, is very satisfied, very happy with the outcome. And we're all going to miss Roman.
It's a memorial that stands tall in Delaware County, but although we can see the memorial and the names being remembered, our Susario tells us that a visit is absolutely necessary to fully understand.
You can't miss it. It towers proudly over Westchester Pike. What you see when you turn off Route 3 is a treasure hidden in plain sight.
We have the names of county residents who entered the service from Delaware County who were killed in action. And it goes back as far as the records are available.
Dennis Murphy is a Vietnam veteran who now serves as the vice president of the board of the Delaware County Veterans Memorial. The moving list of names is just the beginning. Look up. Everything that's happening here is summed up in 3 words: lest we forget.
Which means that we're not supposed to forget the sacrifices of the men and women that served our nation.
So many ways to remember and reflect here. The magnificent memorial fountain, the eagle, symbol of strength, the statuary circle featuring the legendary Bill Guarneri, local hero made famous in Band of Brothers, and the structure that attracts the most attention.
Now, it was Claude's idea to have this open-air chapel structured this way.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people who drive by wonder why it's leaning the way it is.
Well, I get questions all the time. Gee, you know what? If it was straight up, nobody would say a word. So you notice it because it is unique.
That's the vision of Claude de Baton, whose family donated the real estate where the memorial has been standing for almost 10 years. The chapel is designed to represent a fallen tree with roots planted firmly in American soil.
Well, the reason why it was located here was so people could see it. There are memorials around Delaware County that you drive by. Here, you can pull in and spend some time here and reflect. You can write a message and put it in the prayer container there for a family member.
And the empty chair, honoring those who served our nation but never returned. On the 9 columns representing a war or conflict are quotes for all of us to contemplate, including one from Dennis Murphy.
Wow, if it wasn't for this, then no one's going to know about that.
Right.
And even the little things about where things were and where people were doing, that's history.
This is a living monument with monthly ceremonies, programs for kids, and down the road a piece, an ice skating rink. Yep, all the proceeds go to the upkeep of the memorial. For those who served, like Dennis Murphy, it's important to make sure we all remember.
Thanks so much for spending some time with us and allowing us to celebrate just a few of the many people in our area creating a positive impact. For Goodness Sake is an ongoing priority of Fox 29. And if you have any stories that you think need to be told, please just reach out to any of us and let us know. We appreciate you watching, and we look forward to continuing to shine a light on all of the people who do the right thing for goodness sake.